I should let everybody know we have Seth Galifianakis in studio. We're very excited to have him here. You may know him from his exciting TV appearances, but he's here. And would you be willing to take calls?
Oh, I was getting ready to say, Johnny, like we should try to
Tom. It's Tom.
Sorry about that. You told me that. We should take some. Oh, listen, this is another thing. I was at a restaurant last night with Zach, and we ordered. Have you ever heard of calamari?
Yes.
He was like, "You like calamari?" And I'm like, "What's that?"
Mm-hmm.
And he ordered calamari. I was like, "Man, this is good."
Mm-hmm.
And
did he tell you what it was?
yeah, it's like octopus.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, I can't believe I'm eating octopus." And he's like, "Yeah, it's good." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is good."
Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like a new thing for you.
I've never even heard of it. That or yogurt.
You never heard of yogurt?
Mm-mm.
Wow. I would have. Calamari, I might have seen, maybe not making it down to certain places. But I thought yogurt was kind of an all-around thing.
I'd never heard of it. I was like, "What's yogurt?" And he ordered that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "This is good too." I mean, it's interesting to have different foods and to be in the city, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of people walking around that don't look like each other, and
mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get back. I'm sick. I want to get back. But it's been fun.
You're sick, meaning you're fighting a little cold or something? Or?
No, it just the city, the New Jersey and New York, and like Yankees in general, I think are like they're crazy, and like I'm like I don't get it.
Okay, so you kind of had your fill.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back. I just got here yesterday. I'm ready to leave.
Wow, so that quick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of like 36 hours, maybe something like you're.
No, just a day and a half.
Okay. Hey, the phone number is 201-209-9368. If you have a question or a comment for Seth Galifianakis, who is in studio. We actually have a couple of people already on the line waiting to.
Zach said last time he was here, nobody called.
I thought people called.
Oh.
I thought it was pretty exciting. Let's see who's on now. At WFMU, you're on the air.
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry for the noise. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm at Disneyland right now. I'm listening to you on my BlackBerry.
You're at Disneyland.
Hello?
I hear It's a Small World.
Yes, I'm on the ride. It's a small world after all. It's almost over. So very soon. We're coming out of the tunnel now, and I should be able to hear you presently. I just wanted to say I've been listening to you both on my BlackBerry, and it's been delightful. Just delightful to hear you two fellows conversing with each other.
Well, thank you. We're having a lot of fun talking. Who is this?
Oh, my name is Saul.
Saul?
Yes, Saul.
And you're calling from, I'm assuming you're calling from California if you're in Disneyland.
Yes, exactly. I'm visiting my brother who lives in Los Angeles, and I took a side trip to the Magic Kingdom.
Well, that's exciting.
Very exciting. I've never been here before. It's delightful.
And where are you from, Saul?
I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love.
Okay, so you made a trip out to the other side of the country to visit your brother.
3,000 miles, I'm told.
Well, I'm sorry?
I'm told it's 3,000 miles. That's what the screen on the airplane said.
Yeah, that is. The screen on the airplane said it's 3,000 miles.
It doesn't say it out loud. It's written. But
yes,
I can read.
It is. I never thought you couldn't read. I didn't mean to insult you.
I guess that didn't need to be said. I'm not accusing you of anything.
Okay. Well, Saul,
you're not accusing me of anything.
I'm not accusing you of anything. So you came out to visit your brother.
Yes.
And who is your brother, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, well, my brother's name is Paul. He's my twin brother. He lives in Los Angeles. He's in the entertainment industry, much like Seth's brother, Zach, is, I suppose, from what I understand.
Yeah. Hey, what's your last name?
Oh, Tompkins.
Hey, is your brother Paul F. Tompkins that guy that's on Best Week Ever that they talk about all that stuff that's going on in the entertainment business?
That's exactly right. That's exactly who he is.
Oh, man. That stuff is so funny. Your brother is so funny on that. Hey, is there a Bojangles at that Disneyland?
I haven't found it yet, but I've eaten all manner of things so far. I had something called a kahuro. It's apparently from the Latin countries or something. It's just basically cinnamon dough with some sugar on top.
Uh-huh.
That sounds good. Hey, I like how you guys cut into like Britney Spears and stuff, and you're like, what do you come up with that stuff? Like, and you just like talk. Who are you talking to?
Oh, you'd have to ask my brother that. I'm not in the
Well,
I'm not in the business myself.
who's he talking? Don't you ask him that stuff? I asked Zach what he like. Zach was in Corky Romano with Jake Gyllenhaal, and I'm like, hey, what was that like? So what was it like? What does your brother Paul know what it's like to like? I mean, do you ever ask him what it is like to like make fun of?
I asked him some questions. I mean, a lot of the questions are of the the what makes you think you're so funny variety, if you know what I mean. I guess it's common with brothers, their little sibling rivalry. But I think of the two of us, I'm much funnier than he is.
Saul, you know what? It's funny that you say that because everybody in my family, they're like, Seth, why aren't you a stand-up comedian? Why don't you do it? You're sharp-minded. You know the world that's going on, and Zach's just a weirdo. He's just a drunk out there doing stuff, and why can't you do it? So maybe you should.
I'll tell you. Yes, just from listening to you speak on this radio program, it seems like you have a lot to say, and I think you'd probably be pretty wry.
I would say, yes, I would say there's a wry quality to Seth.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you agree.
Well, what do you do for a living, Saul?
I work in the library industry.
The library industry?
Yes.
You mean like a library?
Yeah, well, yes.
Or do you build libraries?
No, I'm a librarian.
Oh, okay.
So you're familiar with the Dewey Decimal System?
Oh, am I ever?
Tell us about that.
Well, it's just the most efficient decimal system that you could ask for, and that's why Dewey is a personal hero of mine. I don't know why we haven't adopted his decimal system across the board for just about everything. I've been circulating an online petition for years to try to get it to be 10 eggs in a carton.
Instead of 12.
Yes, which it is currently.
Not a bad idea.
Wow.
Right? I mean, first of all, it's a shorter carton, so that's more room in the fridge. It's easier to carry home.
It makes sense.
You just know how many eggs you have at all times.
I can see how you are related to Paul.
Why do you say that?
It's just
Something
that
in my
same.
voice? You sound similar?
Well, the voice sounds. I can hear traces of the voice, but it's just that same sense of humor.
I don't know what you're saying.
Like I would almost have thought that would be a joke. I could picture that being a joke either of the Tompkins could possibly do.
You mean, well, if you're saying that I say something very sincerely and then Paul makes fun of it, then you're absolutely right. And I guess you do have a little window into our world, but I wasn't joking about that. I really am trying to get it down to 10 eggs in a carton.
Oh, so this is not just a little flight of fancy for you.
Well, it's not just a little flight of fancy in that it's not one of those at all.
Okay, I do.
I mean, do you think there's something wrong with there only being 10 eggs in a carton? Is there a downside to that?
Well, it sounds like I might think it's a little insurmountable.
Oh, well, I think you just have to believe that you can do it, and then you start there, and then things sort of take care of themselves with hard work.
Well, it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you.
Well, I'm up to the challenge. I mean, I believe in this, and I think that the rest of the country can get behind it, if not the world.
It sounds very exciting. Now, Seth, do you have anything that maybe you and Saul might have in any questions, being the sibling of a performer?
Yeah. Does Paul make you watch all his stuff when you're at a family reunion?
I wish he would wait for a family reunion. He sends me the stuff, FedEx, because I've run out of excuses as to why I can't see it live. So he will make sure I get every tape, every DVD, whatever format. He sent me a podcast are they called?
Yes, podcasts.
Yes.
That's
I
what
don't
this
have
is.
one of those MP3 players, so I don't know what he's trying to do, but I just delete them immediately from my email account.
Uh-huh.
He's very insistent. He quizzes me. There's a lot of, he throws in trick questions. What did you think of my blue tie? Well, I thought it brought out your brown eyes. Well, I was wearing a yellow tie, and my eyes are blue, which is a lie because he wears color contacts.
Yeah, he tricks you a little bit just to make sure you're on top of your toes.
Yes. Does Zach do that as well?
He does a bit. I mean, what he does is he comes down to family reunions and stuff. We had a family reunion in Newark because we have a lot of family in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And
Newark is very nice.
And he's like, hey, let's drive around. And he kept driving around in Newark, and he would walk up to people. He'd park his car, walk up to people, and ask how many blocks Times Square was. And I was like, I don't get it.
I don't get that either.
I actually don't get that either.
Well, what he explained.
Well, that makes three of us.
Well, no, I get it because he explained it to me, Saul.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think he was telling me that Newark and New York sound so much alike that he's trying to F with people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just on the basis of New York and Newark sounding the same,
Paul,
you're not 100% paying attention, that's a joke?
Saul, that is exactly my point. Like, I don't get it. Like, why is that it all? Like, that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. Like, he is embarrassing.
I don't know what it is with these showbiz types who feel that it's their duty to make fun of people who aren't in show business as if we're just so much fodder for their routines or skits. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell Paul, I'll talk to him all the time, and I'll see that look in his eye when we're having a conversation, and I will say to him, no, do not put this in a skit, because I will not stand for it, and I'm entitled to my dignity.
So do you like any of, like, Paul's spoofs?
I like there have been some send-ups that I've enjoyed, a few blurbs, but overall I don't like his spoofs or skits or routines or acts.
What would be more your cup of tea comedically, Saul?
Oh my gosh, how about a good old-fashioned pun? I mean, that to me is where it's at. I think it's. I just love the fact that some words, sound like other words, and you might mistake them for each other. And not in the New York Newark way, but I'm talking that they sound exactly alike. And so by the end of the joke, you don't know, you end up at a different place than you think you started out at. Mm-hmm. Forgive my dangling participle or preposition or whatever it's called.
Well, I didn't have a problem with it.
Well, just in case you did, I was ready with an apology.
I barely noticed it.
Oh, thank you. You're a gentleman. Now, let me ask you this: your train is about to take off.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. It looks like your train's there.
I'm outside of Mickey's Toontown right now, which is fun because it's just all the characters from the great Mickey Mouse series, and all those characters are so funny. Mickey and Goofy and Pluto. They're just they crack me up. They're just hilarious, aren't they?
I kind of like the Disney characters.
Oh, the cartoons are just so funny, and I just think about all the hours of laughter that Mickey and his friends have given us, and it's so much fun to see them walking around because when I see them, I think, oh, you made me laugh so much as a child and as an adult too, if I'm honest.
Like, what is there a particular cartoon that is kind of the one that kills you the most?
Oh boy, titles I'm not good with, but I think it was one with
like Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie, of course, is great, and you can see that on a big screen here if you care to. That's his most famous one, but of course there's just ones where Mickey's doing things and people are trying to confound him, but then in the end he gets something done. No, he doesn't get something done, and he's kind of frustrated, which we can all relate to.
Sure.
I love that Donald Duck. I wish he wasn't so formal. You have to call him by his full name. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I think we were losing you there for a second, Saul.
Next caller, right?
Wow.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
No. I just like saying stuff like that. Next caller.
You sound like an old hand now at
Seth,
this.
is it fun to be on the radio? It sounds like fun.
Well, Saul, maybe if you're ever up in this area, well, actually, if you're from Philadelphia, maybe you could take the Amtrak up one of these days.
I'll take the Acela train sometimes. It's so fast, like an hour.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're welcome to come up and maybe give us some insight into the Tompkins family.
Oh, thank you very much. Tom, is it?
Yes, it is Tom.
Tom, I thank you for your gracious invitation.
Oh, well, and you enjoyed Disneyland.
Thank you. Yes, the parade is starting. I should go.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you. It was a treat to talk to you fellas. Thank you so much for giving me some of your radio time.
Have a good night, Saul.
Thank you too, Seth. Great to meet you over the airwaves.
Maybe we'll meet one day face to face.
Oh, I hope so. I hope
Next
so.
caller, next caller, please.
We're moving on.